I mean, that's what you do as a team. You find a way to, win. It's not really about the yards. It really isn't. I mean, we had turnover that cost us a touchdown. Too many field goals. At the end, instead of get a touchdown, we get a field goal because I'm soft. So you got to find a way to win the game, not kick field goal.
Did you think there were breakdowns then that surprised you?
Well, none that really surprised me. I mean, there was none that really surprised me. I mean, the problem is, right now what I remember is some of the things that we didn't do well, but obviously there were some things that we did really well that were, maybe better than I would have thought.
How do you evaluate JW's play overall?
Well, short term, it's hard because I'm tied with him. So, I'd like to be tied only when it's really good, but the reality is you remember some of the things in the red zone that you just didn't do well enough. Some of the throws, some of the calls that didn't give you a chance to score touchdowns. I mean, we've been really good in that regard, and we ended up, I think, trying 4 field goals tonight, which, is uncharacteristic of us. I mean, we tried like heck to stay out of, drop back pass, and the Veterans are really good players, and to try and run it and screen it and throw it, and I thought we did that pretty well, but obviously not well enough.
You talked about at the end settling for a field goal there. Do you second guess yourself about being more aggressive or throwing into
without question? I'll remember that for the whole year. He says you'd forget about it, but you're sitting there trying to decide. You're in a position to kick a field goal to take the lead, and yet score a touchdown, go for 2. You're up by 7. Of course, that's what we do. We analyze what we do. At the time, seemed like obviously the right thing to do. Obviously, it wasn't. So, that's what happens. Do I wish I had it back now? Of course I do. I wish we took a shot in the end zone. So I'll have to live with that.
Coach Gundy was asked the question. I'll ask you. Going to Kansas, do you just feel like the answer is I got 2 good quarterbacks, or will you still not have one? You think on that trip?
I don't have any idea, Mom. I really don't know what'll happen with Wes and where he's at right now. I know he's in great spirits and wanting to be back, and we want him back. I'm happy for JW that he's getting a chance to play, and on the surface, appears to be very confident. Does not seem to be rattled by it. There are some things that he does very well, and we have to play to that. I mean, obviously, that's what we're paid to do, is to find a way to score points, move the ball, and not kick field goals, and we didn't do that tonight.
I saw Wes down on the sideline with headset on and doing what JW guys do all last season. How valuable is that for him?
He had a headset on?
I don't know if I thought
Did
he
he
had a
really?
headset on.
Yeah. Was it live?
I don't know if it was live, but I mean,
Tells how much I know.
How valuable is that for him?
I have no idea. I know he's on there.
Well,
I'll find out if it was pretty valuable. I mean, I'm not trying to be silly.
No,
Usually I'm trying to be silly. I really didn't know he was on there.
well,
So-
how valuable was it for JW then to kind of sit back and watch everything and have that?
I don't know. Sometimes obviously the experience that you have of being in the system and hearing the calls and those kind of things, but there's nothing like actually going and playing. I mean, we got a lot of guys that sit around and watch film, but they eventually got to go play, and they got to practice it, and then you got to hope you give them great looks during the week so they know where to go with the ball, and if they do this, and and then everything's got to kind of come together. So luckily, I thought our backs ran their rear ends off. I thought Joe Randall tonight ran as hard as he has run since I've been here. And I know I changed the subject, but you got me on another. I thought he was a man tonight. And he hasn't put the ball on the deck for 2 straight games, and that's a huge positive. Because when we don't put it on the deck, we're going to be a hard team to beat.
Can you just give your overall thoughts of JW's performance?
Again, on the surface, he did some really, really good things. I mean, how can you not? I mean, it's his first start. I thought he ran the offense really well. I mean, the most important thing is do we have 11 guys out there? The problem tonight that upset me, we had some pre-snap penalties. We had not had that. Now sometimes we were trying to have a little bit longer snap count to kind of see what we were getting defensively and make our point. We didn't handle that very well for being at home. But I thought he really, again, the biggest thing with J-Dub is he's going to compete. And the guys are going to believe in him, and he's going to get us lined up, and he's going to give us a chance to have success. And that's what he did tonight. Sure, were there mistakes? I promise you he had no more mistakes than I did calling the game. I promise you.